Hello viewers, welcome to online course on Mathematics 3. This course basically for undergraduate student or BTech student of engineering field. Today we are going to discuss about the ring in the chapter of ring and field of the module algebraic structure. Myself Sanjay Vishwas, Assistant Professor of Mathematics and Department of Applied Science and Humanities of Guru Nanak Institute of Technology. Here is my details of contact information. If you have facing any kind of problem regarding my online class, you can call me or send message through my mail ID. In the last class, we have discussed about the normal subgroup and quotient group of the module algebraic structure. So in this lecture we have discussed about the definition of normal subgroup, and after that we have talked about the theorem on normal subgroup. So there are some theorem on normal subgroup, and after that we have talked about some related examples on normal subgroup, and after that we have discussed about the quotient group, and then we have discussed some related properties of quotient group, and after that we have talked about some related examples on quotient group. So in the previous class we have discussed mainly a normal subgroup and a quotient group of algebraic structure. So today we are going to discuss about the ring. This is my 7th lecture on the module algebraic structure. So in this module we will discuss about the definition of a ring, and after that we will discuss about some properties of a ring, and then we will study on some theorem on ring, and then we will talk about the subring of the ring of an algebraic structure, and then some related examples we will discuss in lecture 7. Let us begin with the definition of ring. So here is the definition: a non-empty set capital R with two binary operation plus and dot respectively. Okay, so and here this one is the plus and this one is a dot in symbol, is called the ring, and then the following axioms are satisfied. So you know, in a group G composition, and G composition satisfied the closure property, associative property, identity property, and the inverse property. Then we say G composition be a group. Okay. So in that case, where R plus dot, there are two binary operation plus and dot, and it will be the ring. Then it satisfied. That means R plus is an abelian group, R dot is a semi group, and multiplication is distributive. So first of all we will start with the binary operation plus. So in that case, where R plus is an abelian, that means A plus B is belongs to R. For all A B belongs to R, that means R plus is satisfied the closure property. So if AB belongs to R, then A plus B is belongs to R, then we say R plus is satisfied the closure property. So after that we will discuss about the associative property. So A plus B plus C, so A plus B within first bracket is equals to A plus B plus C. So in that case, where B plus C within first bracket. For all ABC belongs to R, then we say R plus is satisfied the associative property. And after that, there exists an element and denoted by 0 in R such that A plus 0 is equal to A for all A belongs to R. So you know, in a binary operation plus, 0 is the identity element, and in a binary operation dot, that means multiplication, 1 is the identity elements, and 0 is lies in the real number. So 0 is the identity element with respect to the addition, then identity element exists in R. and after that we will check the inverse property of R plus. So to each element A in R, there exists an element minus A in R. So every element A in R, there exists an element minus A, so as well as minus A is belongs to the real number. Okay, such that A plus minus A, it is equals to minus A plus A, and this is equals to 0. And 0 is the identity element, it is belongs to R. And minus A is the inverse of A, as well as A is the inverse of minus A, and satisfy this relation. That means A plus minus A, it is equals to minus A plus A is equal to 0, and 0 is belongs to R. So R plus satisfied the inverse property as well. And number 5, A plus B is equal to B plus A for all A B belongs to R. So R plus is an abelian group. So in an abelian group there are 5 properties. The first property, it is closure property, second property is associative property, then identity property, inverse property, and commutative. So, and R plus satisfied the following 5 properties with respect to the binary operation plus. That means R plus is an abelian group. And after that we will check R dot, it is a semi group. So that means it satisfies the closure property as well as associative property. So you know, in a binary composition, plus or dot on a non-empty set R, and if it satisfies the closure property as well as associative property, then we say R plus or R dot, it is a semi-group. Okay, this is the definition of semi-group. I have already discussed in the second lecture of algebraic structure. So R dot, so here dot is the binary operation, and R be a real number, is a semi-group, that is it satisfies the closure property. So A dot B is belongs to R for all A B belongs to R, and A dot B within first bracket dot C, and it is equals to A dot B dot C. In that case, for B dot C within first bracket for all A B C belongs to R. So R dot satisfy the closure property as well as associative property. That means R dot is a semi-group. And after that, R plus dot, that means the composition multiplication is distributions. That means A dot B plus C, it is equals to A dot B plus A dot C, and B plus C dot A, where B plus C within first bracket, and it is equals to B dot A plus C dot A for all ABC belongs to R. These two equations are the distribution property with respect to the composition multiplication. Therefore R plus dot, so here plus and dot be two binary operation, and R plus is a abelian group, R dot is a semi group, and dot, that means the multiplication, is a distribution, and that means it satisfies two following properties, and then R plus dot is said to be a ring. And the two binary operations denoted by plus and dot are not usually addition or multiplication in general. Okay, so in that case we say plus is the binary operation, that means addition, and the dot is a binary operation, and it is multiplication. Okay, so two binary operations denoted by these two are not usually addition and multiplication in general. And there is a third note on the definition of ring. In the future part of the lecture, we use plus in replace of this symbol for addition, and dot is the multiplication in replace of this symbol. Okay, this is actually the multiplication symbol as well, in place of this and this. Okay, respectively. Now move on the fourth note on the definition of ring. The identity element with respect to the binary operation plus is R. That means 0 is called the additive identity, or the 0 element in R, and minus A is called the additive inverse of plus A. Okay, so these two are the identity element and the inverse of an element. where 0 is the identity element with respect to the binary operation plus, and minus a is called the inverse of a with respect to the binary operation plus. So after that we will take some examples on ring. Here is the example. Prove that the set of all matrix of size 2 cross 2, that means the dimension is 2 cross 2, is a ring with respect to the matrix addition and matrix multiplication. Okay, so you know the definition of ring, where R plus, that means with respect to plus it is abelian group, and with respect to dot, that means with respect to multiplication it is semi group, and with respect to multiplication it satisfies the distribution property. Okay, then we say R plus dot is a ring. So here is the solution. Let capital S is the set of all matrix of size 2 cross 2. So from here we shall prove that S plus dot is a ring, where S is the set of all matrix of size 2 cross 2. That means the dimension is 2 cross 2. So first of all we will prove that S plus is an abelian group. So first we shall show that S plus is an abelian group. That means it satisfies closure property, associative property, identity property, inverse property, and it is commutative. So here is the proof of the first part. That means S plus is an abelian group. So if A and B be two cross 2 matrix, then their sum, that means A plus B, it is also a 2 cross 2 matrix. This is the properties of the matrix. So for all AB belongs to S, and this implies A plus B is also belongs to S. So A and B be two matrix of order 2 cross 2, and then their sum, that means A plus B, it is also the 2 cross 2 matrix, and it belongs to capital S. So S plus is satisfy the closure property, and after that A plus B plus C, where B plus C within first bracket, it is equals to A plus B plus C, where A plus B within first bracket. And you know that the matrix addition is always associative. That means A plus B plus C is equal to A plus B plus C. Now move on the third property of the abelian group. The null matrix 0. Okay, this is called the 0 matrix or the null matrix, and all the elements of this matrix are 0. So this is the 2 cross 2 matrix. All the elements of this matrix are 0, and it belongs to S. And we know that A plus 0. So A be any matrix, arbitrary matrix, and 0 is the null matrix. So A plus 0 it is equals to A, and it is a 2 cross 2 matrix. So S has additive identity element 0, and it belongs to S. So S plus is satisfied the identity property, and 0 is the identity element, it belongs to S. And number 4, this is the fourth property of the abelian group. This is the inverse property. So if A is equal to, say, be any arbitrary matrix, and the elements of A are x1, x2 with respect to row, and the second row the elements are y1 and y2. Then minus A, the elements of minus A, it will be minus x1, minus x2 with respect to row, and minus y1, minus y2 with respect to the second row. Okay, and it is also belongs to S. So then we see that A plus minus A, so addition of two matrix A and minus A, it will be 0. So this is the 0 matrix. All the elements of this matrix are 0. So A plus minus A, it is equals to 0 matrix or null matrix. It is also belongs to S. So thus A has additive inverse in S, and A plus B, it is equals to B plus A, is well known for all matrix, and this is the well known result actually. So A plus B, it is equals to B plus A. This is the properties of the matrix. So thus S is abelian group under the operation plus, and it satisfies the closure property, associative property, identity property, inverse property, as well as commutative. So S plus is an abelian group with respect to the operation plus. Now move on the second part of the properties of a ring. So S dot. So here dot is the binary operation. It is a multiplication. So S dot is a semi-group. We shall prove that. So if A and B be two matrix of size 2 cross 2, then A B is also 2 cross 2 matrix. So A and B be two square matrix of order 2 cross 2, that means the same order, then their multiplication, it is also a same order matrix, and it is belongs to capital S. Okay, so S dot, it satisfies the closure property, as well as the matrix multiplication is always associative. So A into B dot C, that means A dot B dot C and B dot C within bracket, it is equals to A dot B within bracket dot C. This is the horizontal result. Okay, so S dot is a semi-group with respect to the matrix multiplications, and it satisfies the distribution property. That means A dot B plus C, it is equals to A dot B plus A dot C, and B plus C dot A, where A, B, C are three matrix of order 2 cross 2. Okay, that means the same order. And B plus C into A, that means dot A, it is equals to B dot A plus C dot A. After our established rule for matrix. So S plus dot satisfied all the axioms of ring. So S is a ring with respect to the binary operation plus and dot. Hence the proof of the above examples. And after that we will discuss some definitions on ring. So here is the first definition: a ring with unit element. If in a ring capital R, so where R is the set of real number, there exists an element denoted by 1, such that 1 dot A is equal to A, that is equals to A dot 1 for all A belongs to R. Then R is called a ring with unit element. Okay, so and what is belongs to capital R, and it satisfies this relation, that means A dot 1 is equal to 1 dot A is equal to A for all A belongs to R. So obviously 1 is the multiplicative identity of R, as well as 0 is the additive identity of R, and I have already mentioned in the previous slide. After that we will define the commutative ring. So a ring R is said to be commutative if A dot B is equal to B dot A for all A B belongs to R. So in that case our dot is the binary operation. And if R dot is satisfied this relation, that means A dot B is equal to B dot A for all A B belongs to R, then we say R plus dot is a commutative ring. So here is the example. Consider the set capital Z of all integers. So Z is the set of all integers. So obviously Z plus is an abelian group, and Z dot is a semi-group. Okay. So also the multiplication of integers is distributive with respect to the addition of integers. That is A dot B plus C is equal to A dot B plus A dot C, as well as B plus C dot A is equal to B dot A plus C dot A for all A B C belongs to Z. So hence Z plus dot is a ring, and since A dot B is equal to B dot A for all A B belongs to Z, so the ring is commutative with respect to the binary operation dot. So the integer 0 is the 0 element of this ring, and since 1 is belongs to Z, and 1 dot a is equal to a for all a. So this ring with identity element 1, and you know that 0 is the identity element or the 0 element with respect to the addition, and with respect to the multiplication 1 is the identity element. And then if it is satisfied 1 dot a is equal to a dot 1, then for all a, then this is a ring with identity element 1. And this is the first example of the above definitions. And after that we will take the second example on the commutative ring. So here the example, let Zn be the set of residue classes module n, where n be the positive integer. Then the elements of Zn, and they are 0 bar, 1 bar, 2 bar, and up to n minus 1 bar. So there are n number of elements, and starting from 0 bar. Okay, so these are all the residue classes module n. So obviously Zn plus is a commutative group, where plus denoted the addition of residue classes. Okay, so it satisfies the closure property, associative property, identity property, inverse property, as well as it is commutative. So Zn plus is a commutative group with respect to the operation plus. Also, it can be easily verified that Zn dot, so where dot is the binary operation, it is multiplication, is a commutative semi-group with unit element 1, where dot denotes the multiplication of the residue classes. So in that case, where dot is the binary operation and it satisfies the closure property as well as the associative property, and dot is a commutative as well. That means Zn dot is a commutative. That means a dot b is equal to b dot a. As well as 1 is the element, it belongs to Zn. So the commutative semi-group has unit element with respect to the binary operation dot. That is the residue classes as well. So again, the distribution law holds for the operation multiplication. So therefore Zn plus dot form a commutative ring, and it is known as ring of integer module n. So this is the second example of the above definitions. After the second example, let us move on the next slide. So in this slide we will discuss about the properties of ring. So since a ring is a group with respect to the binary operation plus, so all the properties of group are valid in ring with respect to the binary operation plus. And 0 element is denoted by 0, and for instance the 0 element 0 in a ring is a unique. And the cancellation property a plus b is equal to a plus c, and it implies a b is equal to c are valid in a ring capital R, where R be the set of real number. And other properties of ring, and they are in a ring R plus dot. So plus and dot are two binary operation, and plus is the addition and dot is the multiplication, and R is the set of real number. So in a ring R plus dot, the first property, it will be a dot 0, it is equals to 0 dot a is equal to 0 for all a in R. Okay, a be any element, it is belongs to R. And the second property, it will be minus a dot b, it is equals to a dot minus b for all a b in R, where R be the ring with respect to the binary operation plus as well as dot. And the third property, it will be minus a dot minus b, it is equals to a dot b for all a b in R. So here is the proof of the following properties. So I will start with the first property, that means proof of the first property, and it will be a dot 0. Okay, so you know we consider this a dot 0, and we can write it a dot 0 plus 0. So you know that 0 is equals to 0 plus 0. So a dot 0, it is equals to a into 0 plus 0. So now applying the distribution property, we will get a dot 0 plus a dot 0. Okay, so a dot 0 plus 0 and it is equals to a dot 0 plus a dot 0. So at 0 is the identity element with respect to the addition. Okay, so now applying the cancellation property, that means the left cancellation property. So from the above equation we will get 0 is equal to a dot 0. So when we apply the left cancellation property, so a dot 0 is eliminated from left as well as right of the above equation. Okay, so and after that we will get 0 is equal to a dot 0. So that means a dot 0 is equal to 0. This is the proof of the first property of the ring. And now we will move on the second property, and it will be minus a dot b it is equals to a dot minus b. We shall prove that minus a dot b is equal to a dot minus b. Okay, for all a b belongs to R. So here is the proof. So minus a dot b plus a dot b. So we add a dot b on the left. So from this we'll get after taking b as common, so from this we'll get minus a plus a dot b, and it is equals to that minus a plus a is equals to 0, and 0 is the identity element, and minus a is the inverse of plus a. Okay, so from this we'll get 0 dot b and it is equals to 0. So minus a dot b plus a dot b it is equals to 0, and from this equation we'll get minus a dot b it is equals to minus of a dot b, and from this equation we will get minus a dot b it is equals to a dot minus b. Hence the proof of the second property of the ring. So after that we will take the third property. Here is the third property. So minus a dot minus b and it is equals to using the second property, and from this we will get minus of minus a dot b. Again applying the second property, we will get minus a dot b it is equals to minus of a dot b. Okay, and you know that in a ring minus a of minus x it is equals to plus x. So therefore minus of minus a dot b it is equals to a dot b. So hence the proof of the third property of a ring. Okay, so after that we will take some definition on ring. So we'll start with the trivial and non-trivial ring. So here is the definition. The set capital R consists of a single element 0 with two binary operation defined by 0 plus 0 is equal to 0 and 0 dot 0 is equal to 0 is a ring, and this ring is called zero ring or the trivial ring. And a ring R consists of at least two elements is called a non-trivial ring. So in a trivial ring where 0 is the element in a trivial ring and it satisfies 0 plus 0 is equal to 0 and 0 dot 0 is equal to 0. And in a non-trivial ring there are at least two elements, and after that we will discuss about the ring with or without zero divisors. So here is the definition. A non-zero element A in a ring R is called the zero divisor or divisor of 0 if there exists a non-zero element B in R. So A be a non-zero element, it is belongs to R and is called a zero divisor or divisor of 0 if there exists a non-zero element B. So B will be the another element and it is also non-zero element and it is belongs to R, such that A dot B is equal to 0 or B dot A is equal to 0. Then R is said to be a ring with zero divisor. So for example, the matrix. So two non-zero matrix, the multiplication of two non-zero matrix it is equals to 0. It is possible. As well as Z6, and Z6 is a zero divisor. For example, 3 and 2 be two elements, it is belongs to Z6. Okay, but 2 into 3 it is equals to 6 and it is equals to 0. So 2 into 2 and 3 both are the non-zero elements, but its multiplication is 0. So Z6 dot is a ring with 0 divisor, as well as in some cases where the matrix multiplication is 0. So for two non-zero matrix, their multiplication is 0. Okay, so these are the ring with 0 divisors. And on the other hand, if in a ring R, A dot B is equal to 0 implies A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0, then R is said to be a ring without 0 divisor. So for example, the ring of integer Z plus dot is a ring without 0 divisor, as the product of two non-zero integers cannot be equals to the 0 integers. But in a Z6 plus dot, where the two non-zero elements, that means the product of two non-zero elements, can be equal to the 0 integer, and it is a ring with 0 divisor. But in that case, that means Z plus dot, it is a ring without 0 divisor. These are the examples of a ring with and without 0 divisors. And after that, we will discuss about the cancellation law in a ring and some theorem on cancellation law. So here is the definition. The cancellation law holds in a ring if number 1, if A is not equals to 0, then A dot B is equal to A dot C, and this implies B is equal to C. And in that case, this is actually the left cancellation law. And if A is not equals to 0 and B dot A is equal to C dot A, and it is implies B is equal to C for all ABC belongs to R, that is a right cancellation law. So in that case, where A is eliminated from right of the both sides. So here is the theorem. A ring R satisfied cancellation law if and only if R is without 0 divisor. This is the theorem. So here is the proof of the above theorem. Let R be without 0 divisor, and let A is not equals to 0 and it belongs to R. So now A dot B is equal to A dot C, and this implies A dot B plus minus A dot C. It is equals to A dot C plus minus A dot C. So in this equation, we add minus A dot C on both, we get this one. So A dot B plus minus A dot C, it is equals to A dot C plus minus A dot C. And you know that in the above equation, the right hand side, it is equals to 0. So A dot C plus minus A dot C, it is equals to 0 after cancelling the terms. Okay, so from the above equation, we get A dot B plus minus A dot C, it is equals to 0. Now taking A as common from the above equation, we get A dot B plus minus C, it is equals to 0. So this implies B plus minus C, it is equals to 0. That means B is equal to C. So in that case, where R be without 0 divisor, that means either A is equal to 0 or B plus minus C is equal to 0. So if B plus minus C is equal to 0, so from this we will get B is equal to C. Okay, so if R be a without 0 divisor, then it's satisfied the cancellation law in a ring. So conversely, let the cancellation property hold. Let A dot B is equal to 0. So then we can write A dot B, it is equals to A dot 0. So you know that 0 is equals to A dot B, 0 as well. So then by the cancellation property, we have B is equal to 0. So similarly, if B is not equals to 0, then we say A is equal to 0. So thus R is without 0 divisor. This is the sufficient condition of the above theorem. So here's the proof of the following theorem. That means if R is a 0 divisor, then it satisfies the cancellation property, as well as if it satisfies the cancellation property, then R is without 0 divisor. And after that, we will discuss about the subring. And this is the very important part of this lecture, that means in ring. So here is the definition. So let R plus dot be a ring and S be a non-empty subset of R. Then S is said to be a subring of R if S is itself a ring with respect to the operation plus and dot. So that means S is a subset of capital R and R plus dot is a ring with respect to the operation addition and multiplication. And if S is satisfied the following properties, that means S plus is the abelian group, S dot is a semi group, and the operation dot is distribution. That means A dot B plus C is equal to A dot B plus A dot C, and B plus C dot A is equal to B dot A plus C dot A. Okay, so S plus dot, it satisfies the following properties of a ring. Then S plus dot is called the subring of a ring R plus dot. So for example, Z plus dot is a subring of Q plus dot. So here Z is a subset of Q and it satisfies the following properties. That means Z plus is a abelian group, Z dot is a semi group, and it satisfies the distribution property. So Z plus dot is a subring of Q plus dot, where Q is a set of rational numbers, and you know that Z is a subset of Q. So after the definition, we will discuss some theorem on subring. So here is the first theorem. The necessary and sufficient condition for a non-empty subset capital S of a ring capital R to be a subring of R, and they are satisfied. A belongs to S, B belongs to S, and this implies A minus B belongs to S, where A minus B is equal to A plus minus B. And number 2, A belongs to S, comma B belongs to S, it is implied A dot B belongs to S. This is the first theorem of subring. That means a subset, non-empty subset S of a ring capital R is said to be a subring of R if it satisfied A minus B belongs to S for all A B belongs to S, and A dot B belongs to S for all A B belongs to S. As well as if S plus dot is satisfied these two properties, then we say S plus dot is a subring of capital R. This is the necessary and sufficient condition of the subring S of a ring R. So here is the proof. To prove that the conditions are necessary, that means if S plus dot is a subring of a ring capital R, then it satisfies the following two conditions. So let us suppose that S be a subring of a ring capital R. So obviously S is a group with respect to the addition, and it satisfies the closure property, associative property, identity property, and the inverse property as well. And therefore if B belongs to S, so this implies minus B it is also belongs to S. Okay, so you know the S is satisfy the inverse property. So if B is belongs to S, so minus B it is also belongs to S. And S is a closed under with respect to the operation plus. So if A is belongs to S, B is belongs to S, and it is implies A is belongs to S and minus B it is also belongs to S. So now applying the closure property on S, so these two elements implies A plus minus B it is belongs to S. That means A minus B it is belongs to S. As well as S is closed with respect to the multiplication. So you know S dot is a semi group, so it satisfies the closure property as well with respect to the multiplication. So if A is belongs to S, B is belongs to S, and this implies A dot B is belongs to S. This is the proof of the necessary part of the above theorem. Now to prove that the conditions are sufficient, that means suppose S is a non-empty subset of R for which the condition 1 and 2 are satisfied. That means A minus B it is belongs to S for all A B belongs to S, and A dot B it is belongs to S if A and B belongs to S. So from the first condition, A is belongs to S, and this imply A minus A, where B is equals to SA. So A minus A, it is belongs to S as well. So that means 0 is belongs to S. So hence the additive identity is in S. Okay, so identity element with respect to the addition is satisfied, and it is also belongs to S. So now 0 is belongs to S and A is belongs to S, and it is implies 0 minus A from the first condition of the above theorem. 0 minus A, it is belongs to S, and this implies minus A, it is belongs to S. So each element of S process additive inverse. So inverse element is also exist with respect to the operation plus. So now let A is belongs to S and B is belongs to S, then minus B, it is also belongs to S, and then from the first condition of the above theorem, A is belongs to S, minus B, it is belongs to S, then this imply A minus of minus B, it is belongs to S. So that means A plus B, it is belongs to S. So S plus is closed with respect to the operation addition, and thus S is closed under addition. So S being a subset of R as well as it is associative, and commutative law of multiplication over addition holds in S. So therefore S is a subring of capital R, and it satisfies the all the properties of a ring. So after that we will take an example on the above theorem. So consider the ring R of a 2 cross 2 matrix. So for all 2 cross 2 matrix with integral elements, and S be a subset of the matrix of the type, it is also the 2 cross 2 matrix, and the elements in row A0 and 0C of R. So here let A be a matrix and B be the another matrix. The elements of A are A is the 2 cross 2 matrix, and it is also belongs to S, and the elements of A are A1, B1, 0, C1, it is belongs to S, as well as B be the another matrix, and it is also the 2 cross 2 matrix, and the elements of B are A2, B2, 0, C2. Okay, so these two are the matrix and are all belongs to S. So therefore A minus B, it is equals to, so the matrix subtraction, it is equals to A1 minus A2, B1 minus B2. This is the first row, and the second row it will be 0, C1 minus C2. So all the elements are integer. So subtraction of integer value is an integer. So it is also belongs to S. As well as the multiplication of two matrix, it is equals to, and the two matrix are the 2 cross 2 matrix, that means the square matrix of same order. So their multiplication is also the square matrix of same order. So after multiplication it will be this. So A1 A2, in the first row it will be A1 A2, A1 B2 plus B1 C2, and the second row it will be 0 C1 C2. It is also belongs to S. So all the elements are the integer. So S is a subring of R, and it satisfies the following two conditions. That means A minus B, it belongs to S, as well as A dot B belongs to S. So from the above theorem we conclude that S is a subring of capital R. Now move on the second theorem on the subring. So here is the theorem. So the intersection of two subring is a subring. That is the proof of the above theorem. So let S and T be two subring of a ring capital R. Then S intersections T is non-empty, as 0 is belongs to S intersection T. So let S intersection T is equal to 0, then obviously S intersection T is a trivial subring of R. Okay, it is a subring. This is a trivial case. Now let S intersection T, it is not equals to 0. So S intersection T, it is a non-empty set. So there exist two elements, say A and B, and it belongs to S intersection T. So then A is belongs to S, and A is belongs to T, and B is belongs to S, as well as B is belongs to T. So AB belongs to S intersection T, that means A is belongs to S as well as T, B is belongs to S as well as T. So now A is belongs to S and B is belongs to S, and this implies A minus B belongs to S and A dot B is belongs to S, as S is a subring of R. So these following two conditions are satisfied. From the first theorem on subring, we conclude that A minus B belongs to S as well as A dot B belongs to S. Similarly, A be the element is belongs to T and B be the element is belongs to T. So from this we will get A minus B it is belongs to T as well as A dot B belongs to T, where T is the subring of R. So from the above two equation we conclude that A minus B it is belongs to S intersection T. This is the common element of S as well as T. So A minus B it is also belongs to S intersection T, as well as A dot B it is also belongs to S intersection T. So thus A is belongs to S intersection T, B is belongs to S intersection T, and it implies A minus B it is belongs to S intersection T and A dot B it is belongs to S intersection T. So therefore S intersection T, that means from the first theorem of subring we conclude that S intersection T it is a subring of R. So therefore an arbitrary intersection of subring is a subring. But the union of subring of a ring need not be a subring. For example, say 2z. Okay, so 2z it is equals to 2n, where n be the integer. This is actually the even integer. And 3z it is equals to 3n, the elements of the type 3n, where n be the integer. A 2 subring of the ring z. 2z union 3z is not a subring, because 4 be any element in 2z and 3 be the element in 3z. Okay, so you know that 3z is equals to the elements are of the type 3n, where n be an integer. Okay, so 4 be the element, it is belongs to 2z, and 3 be the element, it is belongs to 3z. But 4 minus 3 it is equals to 1, and 1 is not belongs to 2z as well as 3z. So therefore 2z union 3z is not a subring. That means union of subring of a ring need not be a subring. Now move on the next slide. So in this slide we will discuss some examples on ring as well as subring. So that is the first example. If R plus dot is a ring such that A square is equal to A for all A belongs to R, then prove that A plus A is equal to 0 for all A belongs to R. That is, each element of R is its own inverse. So here is the solution. A is belongs to R. So A be any element, it is belongs to R, where R be the ring. Okay, so this implies A plus A it is belongs to R. Now applying the above properties, that means A square is equal to A. So from this we will get A plus A whole square, it is equals to A plus A. And this condition is given. And A plus A whole square it is equals to, A plus A dot A plus A. And it is equals to A plus A. And now applying the distribution property or distribution law, then from this equation we will get A plus A dot A plus A plus A dot A, and it is equals to A plus A. So in that case we use the distribution law. So after multiplying we will get A dot A is equals to A square, A dot A is equals to A square, as well as A square plus A square. So A square plus A square plus A square plus A square, it is equals to A plus A. So in that case where A dot A is equal to A square. Again applying the above properties, that means A square is equal to A. So from this we will get A plus A plus A plus A, where A square is equal to A, and is equals to A plus A plus 0. So now applying the left cancellation law, so from the above equation we will get A plus A, it is equals to 0. So in that case where A plus A is cancelled from the left of the above equation, we get A plus A is equal to 0. So after that we will take the second one, that is the second example of ring as well as subring. So if in a ring R with unity and satisfy this relation xy whole square is equals to x square into y square for all xy belongs to R, then show that R is a commutative. That means the commutative ring. since the unity of a ring is 1 and it belongs to R. So for all xy belongs to R, x into y plus 1 whole square. So in that case, we replace y by y plus 1. So then the above relation is reduced to x into y plus 1 whole square, and it is equals to x square into y plus 1 whole square. So therefore the above equation, that means this one, it is implies x into y plus 1, it is whole square, that means x into y plus 1 into x into y plus 1, and it is equals to x square into y plus 1 whole square, and y plus 1 whole square, it is equals to y plus 1 into y plus 1. So now applying the distribution property of ring, and then from the above equation we get x into y, that means xy plus x. From the first bracket we will get this one, and from the second, that means this one, from this we will get xy plus x, and it is equals to x square into, again applying the distribution property of ring, we will get y into y plus 1 plus y into y plus 1. So after simplifying the above equation, we get xy into xy plus x into xy plus x. So again applying the distribution property and simplifying the above equation, we get this one. It is equals to x square into y square plus y square. Okay, it is equals to plus 1. Therefore from the above equation we get xy whole square plus xy into x. Multiplying by xy on the first bracket we will get this one. Again x multiply on the first bracket we will get x, that means x square into y plus x into x, that is x square. And it is equals to x square into y square plus x square y plus x square y plus x square. Okay, now applying the cancellation law, that means left cancellation as well as right cancellation law, then from the above equation we will get xyx plus x square y, it is equals to x square y plus x square y. So from this we will get xyx, it is equals to x square y, and we can write in equation number 1. Now replacing x by x plus 1 in the equation 1, we get x plus 1 into y into x plus 1, it is equals to x plus 1 whole square into y. So from this equation we will get x plus 1 into y into x plus 1, it is equals to x plus 1 whole square into y. So that means again applying the distribution property, from this we will get xy plus y into x plus 1, it is equals to x plus 1 into x plus 1 into y. So where x plus 1 whole square is equal to this. Okay. So after using the distribution law on ring, we will get xy plus y into x plus xy plus y into 1. Okay, so this equation can be written as this. It is equals to x into x plus 1 plus 1 into x plus 1 into y. And after simplifying this equation, we will get xy into x plus yx plus xy plus y. Okay, 1 multiplied by xy plus y, then we get this one. That is equals to x square plus x. In that case, where x is multiple on the first bracket, we will get this one, x square plus x, plus in that case where 1 is multiple by x plus 1, we get x plus 1 into 1. Okay, so from the above equation we will get x square y plus yx plus xy plus y, it is equals to x square y. Okay, in that case where y is multiplied by x square plus x plus 1, then from this equation we will get x square y plus xy plus xy plus y. Okay, so now applying the left cancellation as well as right cancellation law, we will get xy plus yx, it is equals to xy plus xy. Again applying the right cancellation law, then the above equation, it will reduce to yx it is equals to xy. So hence R is a commutative ring. Hence the proof of the second example of ring. So I will stop here today's lecture. Thank you.